Let's start that again. Hey guys, and welcome back to another video where today I am going to be reviewing the book Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. Let's just put it there in the back behind me. Now, Skyward is the third Sanderson book that I've read, and I really actually enjoyed it quite a lot. I mean, it's Brandon Sanderson, so it's going to be good. The book was really good. It had great characters, fairly good characters overall. The main character, Spencer, was really enjoyable. It was very fast-paced, and I really appreciated that. It wasn't a slow book at all. But because it is YA, because it is young adult, I did find that some areas that I felt that Sanderson usually excels at were, for whatever reason, because it was YA, dumbed down a little bit. Let's jump right into the video. So, plot. Basically, this Skyward is a sci-fi book, and it's set in the future when humans, they were in a fleet of ships, have crashed into a planet while trying to escape from these alien creatures called the Krell. Now they are inside these caverns, yes. Now they are inside these caverns beneath the planet, and that's where they've been for a while, trying to hide from the Krell. When the book starts, though, the humans are starting to fight back in ships, and that's why pilots in the society that Spencer lives in, Spencer is our main character, is highly valued. Now, Spencer herself is a very interesting character, but she's very brash, she's very hot-headed, she has quite a temperament, and that is because her father, who was a pilot, who she absolutely loved, apparently he was branded a coward when he died and apparently betrayed his fleet of ships years back when she was a girl. Now she's determined to redeem her family name and, well, as the book says, claim the stars. So the positives for Skyward is that Spencer is a really great character. Because of who she is, and because she's not as... because of her temperament, because she does take things to extremes, I was expecting to not like her at all. But as I was reading the book, I found that I really did enjoy her character, and I really could see where she was coming from, and that is credit for Sanderson, because I did not think I was going to like her at all. And she definitely developed throughout the book. Her character change does come quite late, like it is kind of gradual, then woo! Towards the end, and she changes dramatically. But still, she's a really good character. As I said earlier, the book has really good pacing. It's just constantly got new small things introduced, little secrets being revealed, big events happening that just keep you glued to the page, and I did not want to put down Skyward. It's about 500 pages, but it felt much shorter than that. Much shorter. I mean, maybe it's because I've just come off reading Words of Radiance, which is over 1,000 pages, that I felt like Skyward wasn't that big, but it didn't take me that long to read. It took me a few days. Also, for a YA book, Skyward is also quite shocking, which I found, well, at first jarring, but I appreciated it after a while. And I can't go into that, obviously, without spoilers, because that wouldn't be good. But stuff happens in Skyward that I went, really? Really? You're going to do this? Okay, well, I'm in for it. And I found that really cool. And the book also has a very interesting setup. Even though this book is standalone, there is going to be a sequel coming out literally in a few days, I think. Or in the next week. I don't know when, but there is... Wait, is it? It's this month. I don't know when it's coming out, but it's soon. And it's called... I think it's called Starsight? Anyway, Starsight's coming out soon, and the world will be expanded upon, and this is a very interesting first book. It's very self-contained, it's very standalone, it's Spencer's story, but there is definitely more to be seen. Also, quick note, it's not part of Sanderson's Cosmere at all. It's in its own series. There is actually a short story on Sanderson's website that you can read that's actually connected to Skyward, but as I said, don't have to read anything beforehand. You can just pick this up. This can be a great first Sanderson book, especially if you are already familiar with YA. The so-called Sanderlanche, where everything at the end of the book comes together in this massive conclusion, which is in a lot of Brandon Sanderson's books, is also in Skyward. and it's good. It's so good. I absolutely love it. My favourite Sandlanch is still the one from The Way of Kings. The Way of Kings. Get my titles right. However, Skyward is still brilliant, and there is just moments after moments when you're going, yes, 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 and you just, all these story threads are coming together towards the end, and I really appreciated that. Also the combat, the space combat in Skyward was really good. I really liked it, and that it felt very authentic. And the reason for that is probably because Brandon over here actually went to real life pilots and asked them, hey, how do you actually, fly, and what's it like? How do you do the maneuvers? And they said, well, I'll tell you. So, hope you enjoyed that. It does have an authenticity to it, and I really enjoyed that. I actually learned a bit about, I know it's spaceships, but I learned a lot about flying from Skyward. I don't recommend it if you want to be a pilot as your one thing you look at, but it's there. So, now on to the negatives, because Skyward is, of course, not a perfect book. Not a perfect book at all. It's a great book, it's a lovely book, but it's not a perfect book. And the first major negative that I have, because I have one major negative that really encompasses everything else, and that's that because it is YA, because it is a young adult book, things have been done that I don't love. And that is that the entire book is in first person, it follows Spencer's perspective, and while I did love Spencer because of this, I found her to be a great endearing character that I got to learn with and develop with over the course of the story, and I really sympathised with her. The world and the other characters took a back seat because of this. Not all the other characters were fleshed out as I would have liked. I didn't feel like I knew them as much as I did in some other Sanderson books, and the world building as well didn't feel as real as some of the other Sanderson books, like for example Mistborn or the Stormlight Archive. It's still got some great world building, but I didn't find it on the same level, and I think that's because it is YA and it focuses primarily just on Spencer. And because of that, I didn't find myself enjoy Skyward as much as some other Sanderson books. I didn't get as attached to the characters, which is a bit disappointing. But overall, Skyward is still an absolutely fantastic book, and I really recommend it. You pick it up if you have not read any Sanderson books. It's a great introduction, especially if you're familiar with YA. It's a great way to get into his type of writing. So then you can go on to some of his adult stuff. And if you have read his adult stuff, his fantasy adult stuff, then, have a look at some other stuff that he's done. Skyward definitely warrants a read. So, ultimately, weighing up the positives and the negatives, I give Skyward a solid 8 out of 10. Now, I hope you've really enjoyed this video. I loved making it. It was a very good one to do. I haven't really done many book reviews before. I've done 2. I've done one for the Way of Kings, and I've also done one for The Name of the Wind. But I have not done one for any other books apart from now, Skyward. So leave your feedback down in the comments below if you want me to see me do more of this and what I can improve on. And I guess I'll see you all later with my review for The Eye of the World, which is the first Wheel of Time book. Anyway, you guys are all awesome, and I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.